Hey there friends, in this video I'm going to be showing you how to sharpen a photo using Affinity Photo. So I've got a picture, a raw file that I've loaded into Affinity right here, and I'm just going to quickly fix the framing a little bit and make some minor adjustments to the uh, exposure and contrast. So I'm just gonna bring this down a little bit, change the tone curve, add some dynamic contrast like so, but just not too much. So what I want to happen here is I want to really highlight the silhouettes of the people sitting, and I want to do so in a way that takes advantage of the lighting, the rear lighting. So now that that's done, I'm just gonna go back and maybe up the black point just a little bit and up the brightness just a little bit to recover some of that detail. I don't want to lose all my detail, but I do want to keep it high contrast. So now that that's done, we can go and move over to the sharpening part. So there are about two ways of adding some sharpness back. You have your detail correction or detail refinement here, and then you also have your clarity slider here. So these two very similar things, but just in different ways. So clarity, if we increase this to the max, you can see it brings back some of that detail, especially in the background. So if we bring this back to 0, you're going to be able to see the difference. Or rather, if I put it in mirror view, so right now the before is at the right side and the after is at the left. So if we bring this clarity slider all the way up, you'll notice that there's a lot more contrast in the image and a lot of the texture stands out a bit more. So you can think of this as a defogging or dehazing filter if you've used Lightroom before. So I'm going to bring that up a little bit, but that doesn't exactly solve the blurriness issue at its core. So this mostly just makes it so that it's easier to recognize the detail, but the image itself is still a little blurry. So to fix that, we're going to go to details and then we're going to turn on detail refinement. So here you can experiment with the right amount you want to add. So for example, if we push the sliders all the way, you can see that the image on the left now is a lot more sharper compared to the image on the right. But it introduces some color banding, it introduces some noise, it also introduces some minor visual artifacts. So the general rule of thumb is you want to increase the sliders only up to how much you need. So you want to keep this as low as possible or as use it only as necessary rather. Move the sliders up as much as necessary only. So I'm just going to put the radius at about 25 while slowly sliding the amount to a level that I feel comfortable with. So there we go. Here's our finished product. You can see that the highlights around the sleeve and the silhouettes stand out a lot more in the picture to the left compared to the picture on the right. And that's partially in thanks to the detail refinement and to the clarity adjustment right here. So one last thing that we can do as we're sharpening our image is we can start to take away some of that noise that was added during detail refinement. So underneath the same details tab, you're going to notice an option here called noise reduction. I'm going to go ahead and tick that and I'm going to up the luminance values just a little bit as well as the colors value just a little bit. So I don't want to totally get rid of all of the noise because doing so would remove some of the texture from the image, but I just want to get rid of some of the unwanted interference or unwanted noise. So there we go. And overall, I'd say that's about done. The image looks a lot sharper. It's a lot more vibrant. It has a lot more contrast and it really stands out. So I'm very, very pleased with the way the silhouettes came out. I would say I was able to achieve the goal of sharpening the image to really make the subjects stand out. So it's really that quick and that easy. Just gotta go through a few menus and play around with the settings a little bit. Once you get the hang of it, it should be a lot easier than when you first start. So that's pretty much it for this video. I hope I was able to teach you something new and something useful. And as always, thank you for watching.